Morning, Steve Reed with the morning grain comments. Well, it's real foggy here in Chicago. You can't barely see the buildings outside the window. Across the Midwest, yesterday we had some good rains in the southern plains. Today you're seeing rains in the western Midwest stretching all the way down to the eastern southern plains. And over the next 3 to 4 days, 90 to 95% of the U.S. Midwest should get rain. The extended outlook, 6 to 10 day for the Midwest, is cool temps and normal rains, except in the south where we could have above normal rains across the Gulf Coast. As far as the 8 to 14 day, it looks like, again, normal temps, maybe normal to above temps for the Midwest. Normal rains, but again, above normal rains across the Gulf Coast. And that's somewhat typical of what you might see in an El Nino type year. As far as overnight news, soybean oil continues to rally. From the January lows of 29 cents a pound, we're up to 33.5 cents a pound overnight. The high in January was 34.5 cents a pound. This rally has been fueled in part by talk of increased biofuel demand in the United States, bird flu, maybe reducing soybean meal demand, so people liquidating out of long meal short oil spreads, and also China buying soybean oil and palm oil in the last few days. Overnight, the Chinese ag futures were stronger, led by soybean oil and palm oil. We also noted that the EPA finally sent the biofuel volume targets to the White House for review, so they've got a deadline of June 1st, and we'll see if they meet that deadline and what those targets are. Wheat's bouncing off 5-year lows, kind of a slow bounce right now, but yesterday was the first day of the Kansas Wheat Tour, and they came out with a yield of a little over 34 bushels per acre for the first day. Last year that yield was just a tad higher than that, and that might have brought a little bit of short covering into the market. We also note that we saw an average trade guess for 14.15 carryouts for the May 12th report, 1856 corn, 362 beans, and 691 wheat. I would say those numbers are a little neutral. Also on 1516, the USDA will give us their first guesstimate, 1759 corn, 446 beans, 751 wheat. So obviously a little negative to beans and wheat, neutral to a little friendly to the corn. We might see some short covering going into that May 12th report from yesterday's lows. We did note that CoBank announced quarterly net income was flat in the first quarter, but their loan demand's up 5%. And we also noted last week option volatility here was up a little bit, led by corn and soybean oil. So in general, a little bit quiet, low volume bounce overnight, maybe some short covering into the May 12th report. Good weather for most of the U.S. Midwest offers resistance to prices. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.